Welcome to Season 3 premiere of Coach's Corner, brought to you by Fats Cafe. I'm your host, Katelyn Grisillo, and joining us today is head women's soccer coach, Hilary. Thank you for joining us today, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, congratulations on your hire here at Aiken. This is your first head coaching job, correct?
I guess technically, yeah, the title says that. I was assistant head coach over at Beaufort before this.
Can you give us some background on yourself, since a lot of people may not know you yet? Where did you grow up, and where did you play collegiately?
I'm what most consider maybe a Yankee, even though I've been down here probably half my life anyways. But I grew up in Avon Lake, Ohio, outside of Cleveland.
Okay.
And got hypothermia one year. I think it was my senior year, and I said, I'm out. And so I played down outside of Charlotte at Gardner-Webb University a long time ago, very, very ancient, and then basically didn't ever want to go back. And my parents miss me so much, they love me, so they just transferred down here. So,
well, that's very good. What interested you the most about coming to USC Aiken, besides the weather?
My first assistant job was actually at Armstrong, which is not really a good word here.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, every time we played Aiken, it was always all about heart. And I just always admired about how, like, together their team was. We hated playing them, actually, not gonna lie. Pacer Pit was one of the most dreaded places to come to. So I eventually moved over to USC Beaufort, and when I found out that the Aiken position was opened up, Eric Faulkner from Armstrong told me about it, and he said that I had to apply. So, you know, when the old boss man tells you that you got to, you got to, so.
So on and off the field, what has been the biggest adjustment for you coming to Aiken, if anything?
Pretty much just, you know, the minute details and, like, finding the chemistry and, like, within, like, the team and within the coaching staff. And I think we're getting there. I think that the chemistry already existed. I think Coach Sue did a really good job of bringing in some top quality players, also that just were good people. So, then the coaching staff kind of just, like, came to me. So, you know, Coach Megan Mayville was at Salisbury. She used to play for me at Armstrong. So, brought her down, and then Coach Hank used to coach here a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. So I basically said, hey, you wanna come and help out again? Yeah, welcome back. Let's bring it all together. It's worked out really good, well so far.
So you've had a scrimmage and have been able to work with the team over the last couple of weeks with those dreaded 3 days. What are some of the positive things you've been able to take away from your experience with the team thus far?
Well, I'd like to say that it hasn't been 3 days really, because the weather has been so awful.
Okay.
So we have not really had 3 days for like the past week. But it's been really, really positive. The thing that really we're taking away is the intensity that this team brings, and they fight with each other on the field. But as soon as practice is over, training's done, games are done, like, it's back to camaraderie. So that's the biggest takeaway, is just how much they really care about each other. And I think that it's really promising as a coaching staff. It's something that I've always wanted. I've always wanted a team that's battled on the field, but then, like, been so sweet off the field, and that's exactly what they are.
Can you give us a couple of student athletes who have impressed you the most? And if so, why is that?
I think Coach Mayville has impressed me. You know, I think that she's done a really good job. No, I mean, from the kids' standpoint, I mean, everyone kind of came in and they knew that it was going to be a battle. I mean, everyone's starting fresh here. So I think that the freshmen stepped up huge. They came in shape. They were the last 3 remaining in the fitness test.
Oh, wow.
So I think they're kind of sending a message. They went in, the scrimmage, played really well. But I think just, like, everyone's kind of laid an impression on me with, like, how much they want this. Like, they want it so bad that it's an everyday thing. It's an everyday grind that they're willing to do.
Definitely. So without giving away too much to Armstrong and our other PBC competition, what are 1 or 2 items you'd like to improve upon before the season begins?
Definitely team shape. We have the talent. We may not have the depth that the big dogs have, but the talent's there. So if we can get in shape, and, like, physically and in tactical shape, I think that this team could actually surprise quite a few people.
Great. Although we will talk with you a lot more throughout the year, what are your thoughts overall on the non-conference portion of the schedule so far?
Ooh, Coach Sue. I'm actually a little nervous, and the only reason it is because these are some pretty good teams. Some regionally ranked teams, some nationally ranked teams. She started us off with a bang. Let's just say that. So main thing that we are just really focusing on is getting that team chemistry down, that team shape down, and we'll be fine. We'll be good. We just have to make sure that we're all in it together, which these girls will pull it together, I'm sure.
Of course, of course. So I'm sure the answer is yes. But have you scouted the first two opponents, Pfeiffer and Catawba?
I haven't scouted them. I'm not a firm believer, or I'm actually a firm believer in play your game.
Right.
Now, yes, do I want to know what the opponent has and everything? Yes, we do. But the thing about me is that if you play your game and you don't let someone come off of your game and you play it well enough, then you'll be fine. So I haven't really scouted them. We've just been so worried about learning the chemistry of our own team. So
definitely, it's well said. So besides just playing our game specifically, what does USC Aiken need to do to come out with the wins against those two opponents?
Definitely provide team cover throughout the whole entire field through 90 minutes. We can't lapse in judgment. I mean, soccer's a game of mistakes, so we just have to make less mistakes than the other team. Well
said. So we know you just started, but do you have a memorable moment with the team that you can share? Possibly a funny one?
Oh my gosh, every day with these girls are hilarious. We find ourselves laughing hysterically at them. Well, with them, not at them. Sometimes we're at them too, a little bit. But they're just great people. I mean, I can only give you the most recent, and that was this Saturday. We helped out with the Aiken Arts Festival. And these girls just know who they are, and it's just great to see it. And so when we're at the Aiken Arts Festival and they're painting these kids' faces and they're making puppets with these kids, just to see that, and then to see the kids that typically would be nervous about it and being oh, I don't know if I want to get my face painted. Our girls are sitting there painting mustaches on themselves, and then all of a sudden you see kids walking around with mustaches on and butterflies on their faces. The same thing was happening. So they're such good role models. So I think that's the thing is my main takeaway with this team is they've surprised me with how they're so mean on the field. I never got to know them off the field.
Right.
So now knowing them off the field, they're just these amazing people.
That's awesome. It's good to see that side as a coach.
It is.
So we're starting a new feature next week called 3 Things You Don't Know. Since we've talked to almost all of your players by now, can you tell us 3 things that people don't know about Hilary George?
3 things. I've been sick this whole entire preseason. It just literally started from day 1, so that was fantastic. However, when I was sick, I actually secretly like it because I really want a raspy voice like Sophia Bush. So I'm secretly don't want to get better because of that reason. Number 2 would be that if I had to pick a different profession, I would be a professional snowboarder or surfer, living in Hawaii or Colorado.
Have you done either of those? Or
yes,
okay.
Yes, and I try to do them as much as I possibly can, but however, it doesn't, time constraints
maybe
and
a
everything.
Team activity.
Yeah,
trip to Hawaii,
yeah,
ladies.
maybe a trip to Hawaii. That would be great. I would love that. We'll find that in the budget, maybe.
Okay.
And then my 3rd thing is that I'm an avid Pinterest person. I love calligraphy. Wow. I mean, this is something that no one really knows about me because I'm so
now we know
athletic. So yeah, I guess that would be my
Secrets
number 1
out.
thing. Secrets out.
Okay, last question. Is there anyone on the schedule that sticks out that you're just dying to play for any particular reason?
I'm actually just excited to play everybody because we just got that poll, and I think that putting us 9th is actually a blessing for us because it's showing that we haven't earned the respect yet, and I think that these girls have earned it, but according to the coaches, we haven't, and we just have a couple more steps to take, and I think that these girls are ready, especially with that many seniors. They want it so bad, and I think that every conference game is going to be something I look forward to because I really want to prove to this conference that these girls have worked so hard.
Good. That's all you can do. Prove it on the field. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Coach. That wraps up another edition of Coach's Corner brought to you by Fats Cafe. I'm your host, Katelyn Grisillo, with Coach Hilary George. Thank you.